you're gonna shoot, shoot. Don't talk. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of the Spaghetti Western Jamboree. This is a stream that I was doing a while ago, a few months ago, and I love doing it. Finding the time to do it has been a little more problematic. So what we're going to be doing from now on is, if you're here expecting the horror movie club, sorry, I'm not saying that the Spaghetti Western Jamboree is replacing it. What we're going to do is we're going to swap. One week it's going to be horror movie club, and next week Spaghetti Western Jamboree. So that way, got both bases covered. It's a genre that I am very, very fond of. It's also a genre I can talk about in my sleep. And that is very, very important, because sometimes when I come on these streams, I'm not entirely there, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, tonight's movie, of course, is the original, the OG 1966 Django, starring Franco Nero, directed by Sergio Corbucci. There's a link below in the description. You can click on it, and it will take you to a 100% free, unedited version of this movie. And let me tell you, times have changed, because this was a movie that you could not find for about, 25 years. It was never released on television, VHS, Laserdisc, or any of that stuff, DVD, domestically for the longest time. I think its first release was actually around 2000, 2001, when, the big DVD boom happened, and suddenly we started getting all these great copies of all these old movies, and also a lot of films that got people like me, who were like fanatics about the genre, had always heard of but never actually seen. So anyway, let me bring on my co-hosts. We got the man's man, the ladies' man, Matt Burke. What's going on, brother?
I don't know about ladies, man. I bet one
yeah, I know your wife isn't going to want to hear that.
Yeah, fuck you.
Sorry.
For sure, man. Fucking Django, baby. I'm so glad we're able to get in there and fucking handle some Western movies, man. I've been really itching to get at these, and yeah, man. I saw a couple of the I caught a couple of the Western Jamborees that you did. I think last year or a few months back. It's fucking awesome, man. I can't wait to just really dive deep. There's so many movies, and man, I never get tired of westerns. If it's fucking Bonanza, Gunsmoke, I'll jump in there and just start watching them. Any era, any genre, any subgenre of westerns. And Django, I can't wait to really get in there and talk about that. Which this movie was something else. Yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. I can't wait to talk about this too. It's such an iconic movie, but it's also a movie that's been like hardly anyone has seen, or at least it's on the obscure side, shall we say, which is ridiculous when you consider how many Django movies there have been, and we're going to get into that, the whole Django ripoff thing. Movies that were like fake sequels to Django. And then, of course, there was the Quentin Tarantino remake, which I haven't seen, but we might cover that briefly. And then, of course, we can't forget our boy ID Crisis Dave. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm actually surprised I was able to make it. Everybody went away at just the right time. They got their kisses good night, and I found myself cleaned and dressed and ready for anything. And this is what happened.
Nice.
Well, it's going to get like muddy and bloody.
Sometimes things work just right.
Things just.
I, however, have not seen this movie. I'm here to learn.
Okay, so that's all right.
This is going to be very interesting. I may have questions. I might even have an answer.
All right.
Who knows? Who knows or dares to dream, Brian?
Hell yeah! Thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you.
Of course, we got our boy Pops. What's going on, Pops?
Hello, Pops.
It has been a roller coaster weekend, and we're a roller coaster week, and we are going to sum it up with. Does that say super chat down there?
Holy shit!
Damn.
The madness is monetized. I just want everybody to know. There you go.
When you get a super chat status, is it not unlike having an empty bag on Halloween and somebody gets to be the first person to put candy in your bag?
That's kind of what this is right now. Yeah.
Is that how that works?
It's kind of weird because it totally caught me by surprise. I was explaining to these guys earlier. I had applied a long time ago and I didn't have bank. And I guess they had gone through the whole process to approve us. And we're just waiting for a bank. And when I got a bank account, just like recently for the ROKU thing that we're putting together.
Something separate. Yeah.
And synced it to my debit card, and boom, Google goes, ooh, synced bank account. Oh, sync bank account. Boom, boom, YouTube. I'm monetized. I don't fucking know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
like as soon as they had an account,
it's one of those scenes in a science fiction movie where the android synapses start connecting.
Yeah.
And then all of the computer graphics start to flicker, and
it's like as soon as YouTube had an account to assign to it.
Oh, now they love you.
Yeah.
They're in love with you now.
Be
careful. Be careful, Pops.
Damn it,
Pops,
this guy.
I'm telling you, just bring a when the internet starts to love you, it's time to get a mop.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
funny.
man.
That's hilarious. I didn't
Yeah, boy.
like I said, I totally didn't expect it. I was doing a game stream. I was live for like 4 hours playing a video game. And as soon as I got off the game, I got the notification that I'd been monetized. I was like, oh,
I know.
I mean,
It's like I didn't get any achievements in the video game I was playing, but this'll do.
yeah, that's like the best chest I opened all afternoon.
Right? Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. Look, a health bar.
Thanks, Matt, bro.
That's
Matt, I gotta ask, what are you drinking, and why isn't your pinky sticking out from that little cup?
Let's see.
Look
here.
at it. Wait,
I'm drinking some Kraken.
It's like
Kraken rum.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
That's why it's little. Okay. Well, good move, because that is some heavy shit.
it's a little
Yeah.
one.
Dude, that's got
a
some
long
good
way.
legs, man. Kraken is you got to put that in a glass so you can see the legs on it. That's some good stuff.
Right.
I haven't had that in a while. I'm cheap.
Was that 15%?
Let me see
Is that a
that.
glass?
No.
Yeah, let me see
No,
that glass.
no.
Come on, hold that back up.
But this is I painted this.
What the fuck?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
Yeah, it's got some chips on it.
They're
It's
fucking around. You got
this is what happens when you empty one of these things. Every once in a while, it falls. There we go. It falls on the ground, and
that's awesome.
It'd be great if you
this
knew
is
the original artist so he could touch it up for you.
yeah. I'm like, there's no way to fix that. Really, you know what? I would charge somebody else to fix this.
Yeah.
I'm like, way too much, man. You should just wrap that in vinyl if you're going to treat it that way.
Seriously.
But yeah, Blackheart,
like a really great couch, and then they wrap it in plastic.
I know that white
You don't want to
couch.
fucking sit on the damn thing.
It's a white couch wrapped in plastic because somebody decided to get grape juice. And drink it. But this is a Blackheart 93, but the Kraken, man, total respect. You're buying off of the next to the top shelf. I
New
love
Kraken. That's the gold one. I've never tried it. I like the black one normally.
Hold on, put
but
that
this
back
one's
right there. What was it?
I
Put
love
that
the
back.
jar. No, show the jar. They have to have the jar. Look at that.
Kraken. You know where Kraken comes from? It comes from fucking Norway. The name Kraken. It's a big squid.
Kraken. It sounds like it. It's like
I'm
skull.
gonna have to handle that someday, hopefully.
Giant octopus, yeah. It's like one of the creatures of myth that definitely exists. And that that there were sightings like going way back, those the old maps where it says "Here be monsters." That's where like a ship was sailing through, and an giant octopus came up and went, "Hey, what's this?"
Yeah, I've never seen one of these before. Maybe I should hug it.
What the hell is that?
Yeah,
I love the nautical stuff, man. I want to do that probably in the next Hellboy. 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's cool. I was wondering, like, as soon as I was like, pinky's out, and then you're like, it's cracking. I'm like, oh no, I get it now.
Speaking of octopuses, speaking of octopi and cephalopods, there is a fellow named Jason Orpheus who is doing a comic called Octopus Cowboy.
Nice.
I wanted to have him on, but Jason is a Filipino brother. And so he is in a completely different time zone. There's no way that he could come on tonight, but I told him, hey, I will pimp your book and let people see it because, well, what can I say? I really think it's worth seeing, and it is well worth your time, and it is well worth backing, quite frankly. I read the first issue of this, and it was exceptional. It was really good. Yeah. No, naturally, I mean, this is kind of like in my wheelhouse. This is, my kind of thing. And one of the things I wanted to ask about Jason is did my book kind of influence this in any way?
You have to
wonder. In a major way.
You have to wonder.
Well, yeah, but also it's the tone, right?
Oh,
because this isn't a joke. He plays this completely straight. And that's what's good about it, because
what you're asking basically is if I and then there's a gorilla in there. If I can do it with a gorilla,
out of a gorilla. Look at that.
No, like if I can do it with a gorilla, if Brian can do it with a gorilla, can I do it with an octopus?
Right. It's a completely crazy idea. Of course, I might be talking out of my ass. You may have never seen my shit, so who knows?
The art is really good.
It's really good.
It's really it's thick. Well, it's thick in the foreground, which is how it's kind of supposed to be. But
yeah, it's definitely
as a rule of composition.
Mm-hmm.
But man, that's good. The proportions are great.
Yeah, dude, he's
the colors
awesome.
are nice, and I love the gun popping out of the water. It's like it's not pointing at you yet.
Isn't that great? And he's holding on to one of the stirrups and everything. It's like, hey, having 8 legs comes in handy when you're a gunfighter.
Well, he's kind of piling on. It's that. You're hanging from the side of the horse, which is that trick that you see in westerns.
Yes,
and he's in the water, which is the octopus's natural habitat. I mean, this is a 6-way intersection,
right?
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, but the art is good.
It's really good. It's really good. And the thing is, his first campaign didn't really get much attention. It did okay, I think, but I think it maybe did about like 8K or something. And I think I've seen him maybe on one stream. And I really wish he would come out and promote this because it's a hell of a book. It's really, really good.
Yeah. Have you talked to him like voice to voice?
Not voice to voice, but
because I was going to ask, what's his command of the English language? Because that's going to be a factor if he's going to be on channels.
His English is very good.
Yeah,
we did a Western roundup with them.
Is he Filipino or is he in the Philippines?
I believe both, right? So he probably speaks what is it, Tagalog or Tagalog?
I just know that our niece in that knife fighting is their local martial art.
He was actually on a Madness show when he did book one.
You know him already, Pops?
Yeah, I talked to him before. I didn't know that he was in the Philippines.
Huh.
I don't know if that was if he was then or what, but I mean,
didn't even sound like he was in the Philippines.
No, when we did CromCon Menace, like you could book.
Look at that!
You could book late at night, so it really didn't matter what time zone you were in. You could find a spot in CromCon. You know, I'm real sure he came out to a CromCon, at least one or two back, a few years ago. Book one though, I didn't even know he had book two. So
hell, Jolly Green in the chat.
What's up, Jolly?
He's got a
Jolly Green. Isn't that that's messed up when you see? I mean, this book really should be getting more attention, and the pages that he's putting up. It's one of the. I know I'm new at this, but when I see a campaign like this, I'm like, man,
he's got it looks like
needs to be upped.
It's like a nice DC style, dude. Like he's got that kind of reminds me like Shane Davis a little bit, like that really.
It's
solid
a thick.
Fucking,
it's a thick DC Shane Davis.
Style, exactly.
I definitely want to see if I can hire him for one of the stories that's going to be in the Two-Fisted Comics.
That would be cool, man.
You're like, hey, could you do everything that you're doing now, but make it a gorilla?
Oh no, I got an artist for Six Gun. I got Preston.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
But if he can do this, and actually, I have actually, you know what? I think I'll have him do the story of the Dandy, which is one of the stories from the extended Six Gun Gorilla universe.
Hell yeah.
Story of the Dandy. That sounds
the Dandy. Yes, who is one of the characters that because after this Six Gun Gorilla arc is finished with the last two issues, I'm going to take a break from the character. But one of the things I do want to do is I want to do kind of like a Magnificent Seven of the Weird West and introduce all of my characters from that universe. And one of them is the Dandy, a guy who looks like a fop, as they would call them back in the day.
Yeah.
And he's a dandy. He's dressed kind of like, very flamboyantly, kind of like Oscar Wilde, but he's also a stone killer. And turns out also the world's first school shooter. A very sort of morally dubious character, like somebody where you just like, you're not sure exactly if you could trust him. You're not sure if he's self-interested or if he's down for the collective. Jason would be absolutely terrific for that, I think. So yeah, everybody.
Did you throw this in the? Wait, I'm looking at the comments. Did you throw this in the chat?
Yeah, I'll throw it.
Where am I? Oh, look, Metal Movies and Brewskis threw his candy into Pops' Halloween bag.
Oh, dude!
No way!
There it is. You got the first one, man. That's a Snickers. That's a cake. That's a fun. Is it a fun size Snickers?
Candy is dandy. Candy is dandy.
Yeah, that's a nice connection you made there. I like that.
Oh,
dude, man. I gotta find that Kraken shit.
Dude, it's new. It just came out and they put it on sale because no one was buying it.
Dude, they do special label stuff. They did stuff for around Pittsburgh of Kraken that just had to do with the Three Rivers and the confluence. It's like special label stuff.
Yeah.
Just like, it's the same rum. They put a different label on it. But look at this: Kilroy, Slade, Leopold, Leopold.
Yeah, these animals are basically forced to fight for the entertainment of scumbags, and they escape.
Like a circus, right?
Well, more like a sort of, but like a real brutal kind, more like bear baiting, if you know what that is. That was
like
a very
a cockfight
popular pastime in the Dark Ages, where basically you'd watch dogs rip a bear apart.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So like cockfighting, but the bear doesn't know that he's in a fight. Like that first time Conan had to fight somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Except, they're used to getting surviving, but getting like really fucked up.
Yeah.
And this is a black steel in the hour of chaos moment right there.
That's nuts.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. So anyway,
I don't
think
detect
this is a
any
great
tentacle
book.
porn anywhere in this entire book. And that's what I dig about it.
Yes. But that's what's funny, because it's like I wanted to tell, like I was telling people, like Beastars, fantastic. Watch the anime, read the manga, fantastic. And people are just like, no, it's furry stuff. I'm like, it's not furries, it's anthropomorphics. There have been anthropomorphics long before there were furries.
You're using words that are
Black
too big
Stag.
for the public school students these days.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's just, it's I love anthropomorphics,
Cowboy.
and I would love to do an anthropomorphic book at some time. This isn't anthropomorphics. This is they're the animals, right?
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly.
Start humans with animal characteristics, or animals with human.
Yeah, like a werewolf. Like anthropomorphic would be
Ninja Turtles,
like a wolf man or a ninja turtle. Turtles. Right. Not werewolf, but wolf man. Right. True. No, man, this is this is a really good find, Brian. I'm glad you put it up there.
Yeah. What can I say? It's just like I see something by somebody that's really talented, and his campaign right now, I think, is at 5K.
5,358.
That ain't right. He's only got 100 backers on this.
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's insane.
Yep.
And we will mention that again and watch the trailer before we peace out. But now we got to get into it. We got to get into.
I'm here to learn. Teach me something, Bri.
All right. So
let me know if I'm too loud. I adjusted things on my microphone, and I've got a pointer right at my mouth. So if it's like, if there's too much. All right, cool.
So 1965 was the year of the release of the game-changing Italian Western, which of course was Fistful of Dollars, right? Yeah. With Clint Eastwood and Gianna Maria Volonté. And the Italians have been doing Westerns for a long time. Well, not a really long time, but they've been doing them for at least about 10 years. And if you look at the early Italian Westerns, they're really kind of bland, because they're just like American Westerns. And in fact, they were made with the intention of convincing you that you were watching an American movie, which is why they would often hire American actors to appear in them. Famously, Clint Eastwood, I think, was 7th or 8th on the list of people that they wanted. And
he was way down the list. Yeah, he was
way down the list.
I don't even know if he was on the list.
That's so weird to hear.
Lee Marvin, Charles Bronson, like a bunch of motherfuckers.
That's so weird to hear that. I
don't think he was on the list. They just got to a point where, okay, who we gonna get now? How about that guy?
Yes. Like Harrison Ford, he's like on the set, the Carpenter.
And now you can't imagine anybody else in that role.
Yeah, he is the cowboy,
So that movie was a game changer in so many ways, because it wasn't like an American Western. It was the first real spaghetti Western. That is to say, the spaghetti West is not your dad's Old West.
Right.
It's dirtier, it's meaner, it's nastier.
There we go.
It's otherworldly. There's something always uncanny and sort of macabre about it. Lots of imagery and symbols of death everywhere.
Gothic too,
Gothic.
Yeah.
That's why like when we like thought about doing this show, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, we gotta do Django if possible, just the whole intro with him dragging the fucking coffin through the mud. You know what I mean?
Dude.
What is that? You know what I mean? What's he doing with that? That's fucking metal too. So I hope we could do that, and then we ended up getting to do it for the for this launch, this new launch. So
yeah, man. Yeah, it's I think I covered this on the very first
you did
Spaghetti Western, which is great because I saved all of the screen captures and stuff.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah. So it saved me a lot of work. So yeah, here are some of the posters. As I'm dropping some knowledge. Of course, stuff I learned from reading books like Any Gun Can Play is a really good guide to non-Leone westerns. I highly recommend that. 10,000 Ways to Die by Alex Cox, the guy who directed Repo Man. That's another really excellent book if you want to learn about Italian westerns. So this was made in 1956, and
Damn.
Sergio Corbucci was evidently the guy who had the original idea to shoot westerns in Spain, because they were shooting a peplum there. Peplums were the trend right before the spaghetti western, right? Because the Italian movie industry is always fixated on like one genre, right? Before this, it was gothic horror, and then it was like peplums, and that peplums being sword and sandal movies, gladiator movies. You like gladiator movies, Billy? And so Fistful of Dollars came out, caused this huge explosion. Corbucci was, as I said, I believe he was standing on a hill with Leone. I think they were like second unit directors or something, and he looked at the landscape of Almeria, which is where most of these movies were shot, and he just went, you know what? We could shoot a western here.
Right.
So evidently he was the guy who originally had the idea.
The vision.
When it comes to Italian westerns, you can't go wrong if you pick one directed by a guy named Sergio.
Right. That's the rule of thumb, right?
We got Sergio Leone, right? Who anybody that's interested in spaghettis, I always say watch those movies first because they're the best, right? And then there's Sergio Corbucci, who's like a close second, who, like I did that list, my list of like top 10 non-Leone westerns. Yeah. And then afterwards I realized like half of them are by Sergio Corbucci.
Hey man, Corbucci fucking brings it, bro. He brought in this movie like fucking gothic imagery, like, I mean, I'm gonna say it, I wanted to late, but like the end shot, dude, is the most fucking, one of the most badass fucking shots I've ever seen in a western.
Oh my God.
Just the very end where he's walking away with the gun in the foreground on the crucifix, and then you see him there. I'm like, the only thing missing is him for him with his hat in the.
Yep. And this was made in '66.
Yeah.
And immediately, the aesthetic is very different from the other westerns that you've seen. Because this is a place, this is a corner of the Spaghetti West that is dirtier, meaner, nastier. People were shocked when Fistful of Dollars came out. Yeah, they really were. It was considered shockingly violent. It was considered like I wouldn't say a splatter movie, but it was controversial. And the main reason it was controversial was because, I just have to like demonstrate here. Normally when people get shot in a Western, any spaghetti Western, it's like you see the hero shooting and then you see the actors go, over, right? But what Leone did was, that was like considered like a real sin, was he included the pistol in the same shot as the actors falling down, right? That was considered like, whoa. So if that really shocked people, this had to be like a straight up splatter movie.
Yeah, like a horror movie.
Like a horror movie. And
it kind of is. It's like it kind of like tiptoes in some ways. Like this is fucking like a horror movie when he's just like, what's he got in there? Dead body? Like you don't know what the fuck is in there, Yes. And I love the way the story keeps changing. His costume keeps changing. it just keeps moving. It doesn't stay like gothic either. The whole fucking movie. You know what I mean? It turns into different things. He kind of changes in characters too. And on a side quest, I fell asleep. I had to come back and keep watching the movie because I'm tired all the time. But I wake up and fucking another Django's on, and he's got long hair and a beard, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta watch this. And then I see another one that's like Satana or Sabat, one of the two versus Django. I'm like, oh, I want to watch that.
Oh yeah, it's probably Sartana meets Django. Okay, quick list because this is something we got to discuss. I got to get this out there too. This movie was such a smash hit. It was so big and so influential that the Italians, always quick to jump on the trend, ended up using the title. They ended up making unofficial sequels to this.
Yeah, dude. That's
but also would then take the title of another movie that was completely unrelated and just put the name Django in it. Like Django, if you live... Django shoot. I'm sorry. Django kill ... If you live shoot! Exclamation point.
Tarantino's like, fuck it, I got my Django too. Here's my Django. There's so many Django's, let me get my Django.
Right. My Django's better and cooler.
That's the only one that's actually the only one that I saw, and I really
most people that's all what people know of, myself included. I didn't even know it was, I remember when it came out, there was Italian ones, you know what I mean? But I didn't know until like Brian fucking
right. Well, you're right. And then there's me, like, there's no way I'm gonna make this show tonight, so why bother? And look what happened.
It's all good. You are free to always check this out.
Well, sure. I mean, it's like Pops. I love that Pops' influence. My Roku's on that TV right over there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, all right, well, I'm ready to go whenever that thing is ready to go. But until then, that's where my shit goes.
Hey, Chris and I are actually working on the business plan right now to present to a couple of investors who basically are already in. They're just waiting for something on paper. So we've already brought the goal for crowdfunding down immensely. We're not going to need as much. So I'm happy about where we're going.
It's going to happen, Pops. And people.
One of these days, man. Yeah, one of these days. It's like
it's like ain't that far away at all.
You know how it is? There's people that really want to have kids, but they just got to keep trying and trying and trying, drinking that orange juice and get back to work.
Yeah,
and when you don't try, you just kind of do it, and then that's when it happens.
Right. You got to keep doing it, Pops. Are you doing it?
Doing it.
Hey, back! Don't tell me. I'm just gonna. You know what? I can't believe I shouldn't have brought it up. I'm going to be right back.
It's all good.
Yeah. No,
let's take a quick look at some. Then this isn't even all of the Django clones. Okay, so there's the original Django here. Django Strikes Again, which is the only legitimate sequel.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay.
Django Kill, If You Live Shoot, which is an amazing movie. That is pretty much a horror film as well by Giulio Questi. Then there's Django il Bastardo, also very much a gothic Western, highly recommended. Viva Django, also starring Anthony Stefan, who's also in Django il Bastardo. And that one's fun, but not a must. Now, the other character that was about as successful and popular as Django was Sartana. So, of course, it figured that, and there were 5 real Sartana movies, but then there are the ripoffs too. So you have the hybrid ripoffs. Django and Sartana are coming. It's the end. Django defies Sartana. Return of Django. Django shoots first. Don't wait. Django, shoot. A few dollars for Django. Django beats Sartana, right? So there's at least 3 Django Sartana movies.
There are so many Django's. They need a universal theme song, dude.
Right?
Pistol of Django.
Django's cut price corpses. Kill Django, kill first.
Love these titles. Fuck.
Right? Django Does Not Forgive. Django the Last Killer. Django Kills Softly.
What?
Django the Honorable Killer, Nude Django.
Oh shit, Django.
Like to know what that's about.
Softcore Django. Dropping Djangos on fools.
Django Prepare a Coffin, which is the best of the the Django ripoffs, and it's with Terrence Hill.
That's why.
Instead of and he's great.
He's awesome, dude.
He's awesome, and looks a lot like Franco Nero in this particular picture. And
they look very similar in real life too.
Oh, for sure,
like brothers, like
Yeah, and so that's another one I recommend. Hallelujah for Django. Django Unchained, of course. Django Lives. Sukiyaki Western Django by Takashi Miike. And well, that's some of them. That's not even all.
That's a couple.
It's a couple. But it's not the whole shebang-a-bang.
Yeah. It's like, damn, that's a lot, dude.
That's a deep, dude. That is a deep rabbit hole. That's a deep ass rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah. So folks, if you want to go diving down that, be my guest. I've seen most of these movies. My collection of spaghetti westerns is in the hundreds.
Oh shit.
The thing is there's a lot of really great ones. I would say that there's about 40 that are worth watching.
Fuck
like
yeah.
For sure,
huh?
Because it's like anything else. When there's an explosion of a certain genre, 90% of the movies are going to be shit. But there's also going to be 1, 2, 3. There's going to be a couple that are going to be masterpieces potentially, or at least be like good. And not complete.
So the sequel, like
what shit.
So there's only one sequel with Nero and Corbucci, right? Is that correct?
Well, Corbucci had passed away at the time, so it was Ted Post who stepped in.
And that's just that's the one with him with the long hair and the beard. That was the one that I stumbled upon that played auto played yesterday, probably.
Maybe
because it was like Django, and it was Franco Nero, and he was riding up.
That's it. Here, I'll show you the trailer.
Yeah, he had long hair and a beard and shit. And you have it on the show too, on the intro. So I was just like,
oh, that's Keoma.
I like this character, man. He's fucking dope. Okay. Keoma. Okay. But they're playing I think they were playing the same score though, dude, from this movie, or one of the themes from this movie that was playing. And it was Franco Nero, but he had long hair and a beard. Yeah. It sounded exactly like one of the songs from the soundtrack of Django.
All right, I'm gonna just have to. I thought for sure I had that shit downloaded, but let's take a quick look at the opening scene from a Django, because it is a famous and iconic one.
All eyes on to Django.
There's no reason to take offense, YouTube. You don't have to do nothing more. It's all good.
Well, don't worry. This doesn't have Clint Eastwood, but we don't have to worry about it. Right. So it's just such a wonderful shot, right? This guy's just schlepping across the fucking wasteland, and as he moves further and the camera moves further back, we see that he's dragging something behind him.
Yeah, what he has on his back is a real specific shape. It looks like is that what it is?
Yep, he's dragging a coffin behind him. Black clad, dragging a coffin behind him. Gothic
like
as fuck. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay, I see it. I've never seen a saddle just open like that. I'm like, it looks like it.
Now, Franco Nero tells a pretty funny story about the making of this scene. Sergio Corbucci evidently was a practical joker, and the cool kind. You know what I mean? Not the asshole kind that does something nasty and then is like, what? You can't take a joke. He was like the fun kind. That just,
A practical joker that actually possesses a sense of humor, in other words.
That genuinely likes people and like, and so he just busts their balls.
Everyone's going to have fun with this, including you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so he told Nero, he's just just keep it walking and just go over the crest of the hill and just keep going. We shoot, and et cetera, right? And so he went all the way over this this crest right here. The sun. He's just walking. Right, he's gonna go around this corner here.
Let me guess, you got an extra 100 yards out of him.
Kinda, because when Nero came back, everybody was gone.
Oh,
like, what the?
Corbucci was like, "Right, everybody, pack up and let's go," and he just left his ass there. And then they sent a car to pick him up after like.
That's so funny. That's awesome. I remember Howie Mandel getting an entire 2 sections of the audience to switch places after somebody went to the bathroom.
That's great. Oh man. So this was
so he like comes back is like, where's the craft table?
Right. So he was at this time really not a household name or a big star. He was somebody who eventually became known even here in the United States because he did something that unfortunately a lot of Italian actors didn't do. He learned English. And the dubbing in this movie is atrocious. The American dub is pretty bad. I can't say that it's very good. So he heard it and he was like, "Oh no! Like I have to learn the English." And then he also had the clever idea of the westerns that he made with Corbucci after this. He was like, it's the American West. It's a place of accents, right? Because it's just like immigrants from all over the world.
Exactly. Yeah.
So why can't I be like a Polish dude, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Or why can't I be a Swedish character?
Or an Italian? It doesn't really matter at that point,
Yeah. So that way he could use his own voice, and you would hear this accent, and you were totally cool with
Gold.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing that was crazy about Franco, and he's still with us.
Oh,
and
really?
Yeah, and there's been talk about a Django 3 that has.
Fuck yeah, that would be sick.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't believe it's going to happen.
You never know, man. You never know. There's things that have wanted to happen and they happened. Like
Quentin Tarantino, make that shit happen.
Yeah,
I was just about to ask if there would be a partnership, and what did the original director think of Tarantino's treatment of it?
He was dead. He had already passed away.
Wait, you just said the actor is already still with us.
Yes, but Corbucci.
All right.
Yeah. Both Sergio and Bruno Corbucci ended up directing a lot of the Terrence Hill and Bud Spencer movies. A lot of them. And those are some of the best ones, actually. But yeah, no, Sergio Corbucci died relatively young, I think like in his 50s, like Leone did. And it's such a shame, because I think of all the great movies that we were cheated out of. There it says Aiuto Regista. That's assistant director Ruggero Diodato, who went on to direct maybe the most infamous movie ever made, Cannibal Holocaust.
Jeez, that movie keeps coming up.
Yeah, man.
I love it. It's like, all right, man, this is the one.
It's one of those movies where it's just like, I watched it. I'm glad I watched it. I never want to see that shit again. It can stay the hell away from me.
Gone Baby Gone is one of those movies for me. I would watch Hannibal, Freudian slip, Cannibal Holocaust I could watch that again. What was the it was like
You
the
haven't
updated
seen
version
Cannibal
of something like
Holocaust.
that? Was it the Green?
Inferno.
Yes.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
that's
very
Eli Roth's
impressed by
ripoff.
those special effects. Very impressed. I was like, oh my God, that's real meat.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing that's so freaky about Cannibal Holocaust is that it's so well made. And when you're making a movie that's kind of twisted to begin with, the better made it is, the more twisted it seems.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Where you're just like,
yes. I mean,
really
you're absolutely right. I mean, even though I like fast forwarded through all the parts of the Human Centipede, where it's like, I know this part of the story. I know this part of the story. I know this part of the story. But even those bits, you know, where like all the jokes are made of, like when somebody says that you're like your fate is going to be that you're the middle part of the humans, whatever.
Right.
All of the bad parts were still like well lit. You know what I mean? And they were still well written and they were still well acted.
Yes.
And I remember coming away from the end of that thing going, somebody had to write this, somebody had to think it up, someone had to sell it. They had to get all these people on board.
Yes.
This absolutely totally disgusting thing had to happen and then make money and then create sequels. Where are we in this society? And how many years ago was that?
One of the things that I always was I found curious about that cycle that in Italian horror, the boom of cannibal movies that was started by Cannibal Holocaust, and then followed by Jungle Holocaust, and then followed by there's at least 5 others: Cannibal Ferox, Man from Deep River.
Yeah.
I always thought, well, you know, I saw those movies and I thought, what the fuck is wrong with the Italians, right? And then I found out the cannibal movies were not made for the Italian audience. They were made for the Japanese
they were made
audience.
for us.
So then I was like, what the fuck is wrong with the Japanese? Right? Like,
they're buying up all the movies.
They love the cannibale. They love the cannibale movies. And Diodato, to his credit, when he was asked, like, will there be a Cannibal Holocaust 2? He had the best reaction. He just started kind of cracking up and going, no more cannibale. No more cannibale. It's enough. It's enough. And I was just like, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. One guy pushes the envelope, and then there's a guy behind him pushing that guy over the edge of the envelope.
Yes. But it is it is an impressive movie.
What matters is you're about to die.
Yeah, this is a great scene. Yeah, where Django comes across these goons that are the arch villain, arch villain's goons, the major
the Klan.
Yeah, basically the Ku Klux Klan, except they're wearing red scars
Clan?
instead of like white hoods.
Yeah.
Although they bust out the red hoods at a certain point, and they're about to like lash this woman. They're beating her with a whip,
fucking her up with that wig too. I was like, damn.
Yeah. They're gonna tie her to this cross and set her on fire. And
as one does.
Yeah, as one does to lovely women, and so. He rescues her, and you discover, like right off the bat, he has a real hard-on against men that are brutal towards women. Mm-hmm. He does not fucking tolerate that shit, and that has something to do with the plot. We are going to get into spoilers for sure because we got to talk about that ending, right?
Yeah.
So. He's in town, and he has come to avenge the death of his wife, who was murdered by the major after while he was off fighting in the Civil War for the Union. Interesting thing about the Italian Westerns too is that they don't. It's rare that you see characters that were members of the Confederacy featured as good guys or heroes in American westerns, and Italian westerns, it's a little different, right? It's a little different. They knew a little something also about Civil War, although they didn't really have much of one. The Spanish, of course, were the ones that had the really nasty Civil War. But of course, all these movies were shot in Spain. And the guys who made these movies, Corbucci especially, very political, very political. I'm talking about like radically leftist, right?
Damn, crazy.
Yeah, like one of the things I noticed in Corbucci's movies, he hates hippies. There's a lot of hippies in his movies, and they're always scumbags. And I thought, oh, it must be because he's right wing. It's like, no, it's because he was
like
left wing,
hippies.
and he saw hippies as a bunch of fucking dope smoking fucking good for nothings that were just sitting with their thumbs up their asses instead of actually getting shit done.
I think you've just ripped a political hole in the time-space continuum.
Right.
Yeah, well, a lot of these guys were communists. A lot of these guys are communists. Because basically in Italy, before this time, you were either a communist or you were a fascist.
I see.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons, because I remember as a kid, I always wondered, like, man, the Italian movies are violent. What is up with all the violence and all the gore, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people think it was the Italians working out their PTSD from
communism,
Mussolini.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, there's got to be some leftover. There's got to be some leftover fascist vibes.
And they're kind of forcing
it was the Italian fascist, and I cannot remember his name for the life of me. Somebody with a bigger brain is going to be able to.
Mussolini?
Not Mussolini. I believe it starts with a G, but he was like one of those intellectual thought leaders or whatever, and Hitler loved this guy.
Oh! Hitler was nothing without Mussolini.
Well, yeah, but it was like the guy that.
Yeah, but of course they always have the philosophers.
But yeah, there was people that actually, like the guy that never held a job, who thinks he knows how to run the world and he knows how to write books, and people get sucked in without looking into their background and how all this bad shit starts.
Yes.
But yeah, that was basically it. The Italians, the fascism started there and then infected the rest of Europe.
Yeah. There's a great book,
like a good pasta, like a good sauce and a good pasta, and infected the rest of Europe.
Oh, be careful about calling it sauce out here in New York, because here it's gravy. And
really?
People have knife fights over that shit.
Well, maybe in Eastern New York and in Western New York they throw hot sauce on it, put it on chicken wings.
Which is marinara sauce, dog. Over here.
Yeah, right.
Like a pizza
the
sauce.
M word.
From what?
Sorry.
When Henry Fonda was offered like more like roles in Italian westerns. This is obviously post Fistful of Dollars. He ran into his friend Eli Wallach, and he said, "Hey, man, I know you've like done some Italian westerns. And they're offering me this movie, and the script is good. What do you think?" And Eli Wallach told him, "Dude, you've got to go. It's the most fun you will ever have making a movie. Everybody is equal. Everybody is having fun.
Oh my
God.
And then instead of having catering, they don't have catering. Everybody gets together and cooks." And he said,
"There's grandmas everywhere."
Yeah, but that's where the conflict emerges. That's when fucking the knives come out. Did you just say that you think your grandma's sauce is better than my grandma's sauce?
Oh my God! I can't believe you're saying
tomatoes we use.
The only time I ever saw anybody raise their voice.
There was a Django Unchained directed by one Quentin Tarantino. Has anybody seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yes.
Nope.
You haven't. Okay.
I have. I'm sure Pop has.
Now, but you remember that part, because there's a lot of cowboy action stuff in there.
Yes.
I think the movie is absolutely genius. But when Leonardo DiCaprio's character discovers that he has value acting in Italian spaghetti westerns, and
you like that movie, Brian?
And puts on 15 pounds. You have to see it, Brian. You have to see it. If you're going to do
fantasy
this,
movie about Hollywood,
if you're going to do this show, you have to see this movie. Is one of the most awesome. Is one of the most awesome. What do you call it? A fictitious history.
It's a fantasy, fictitious history of Hollywood.
Yeah, fictitious history. If one small thing had changed, Sharon Tate would still be alive.
Oh, that's the concept. It's like the butterfly effect.
Yeah,
kind of.
I know I know that they go to the Spawn Ranch.
It's exactly. Exactly, and it's dripping with that Tarantino style.
Brian,
he treats it so well. I was waiting for that movie to come out, and the only reason was, but anyway,
Brad Pitt's the best character in there.
Oh yeah, well, without a doubt, I love it.
He's the best.
I love that.
Watch it for Brad Pitt, dude. He's the best one in there.
When you think about it, like that whole
fucking
like
evil too, bro.
I'm not gonna give too much away because I want Brian to enjoy, but that cigarette that he smokes with his friend, you're a good friend. I try, whatever. That cigarette that he smokes near the end of the movie, is like using Spawn Ranch weapons against them.
Well, it's like that's his last movie, right? He's got one more movie he's gonna make, right? So he's made all these movies. So
whatever. It's like the people are always like retiring.
Yeah. You're right. And Kiss is never going to come out of retirement.
Exactly.
I love that muddy fucking coffin right there, just chilling. I feel like the scene's been done a lot too in the spaghetti western. It's like a trope where you have the lone gunslinger with the the hat adorned over his eyes, and he's just sitting there eating some soup.
It's the original.
I like that.
This is the OG one. It feels like Quint did it. And then my name is what's the other one that we were watching before? Ah man, the one my name is
My name is nobody.
He kind of looks like the
Trinity stole my name.
Trinity, yeah.
Nobody.
Trinity does that. Yep.
Well, the Trinity movies were, of course, satires of these movies. And a lot of people hate them. A lot of spaghetti western fans hate them because they're like, they killed the spaghetti western. I'm like, no.
Trinity was dope.
Genre was already really had been tapped out already.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If anything, it kept it going a little bit longer.
Terrence Hill
Trinity's fun.
In the Trinity.
I'm a
fun. It was just a fun movie, man.
Stan.
But it was weird because it was but it had comedic moments and it was satire, but then it felt like serious in some weird way. You know what I mean?
Yes.
To me.
That's
why I liked it a lot. Like, it's fucking awesome.
I'll tell you a little quick story. Brian, this show, you doing this show reignited my whole love for this genre.
Oh, no shit.
That's cool.
No shit. Because you remember you had me going back and watching all them old movies again, fucking giggling my ass off, trying to find the ones I couldn't find. Dude, yeah.
Hell yeah. Look, I mean, that's one of the things I love about doing streams like this is turning people on to movies that they've probably been sleeping on and shouldn't be sleeping on because they are very much well worth your time. Now, Tarantino, of course, took a lot from this movie, especially, of course, the ear slicing scene, right?
Yeah, right. A lot.
Really? That came from here.
Yeah.
Yes, that came from here.
Now I have to watch.
Yeah. And, it just drives me crazy because he never gives credit or anything like that. But it's neither here nor there.
It kind of
you know how I feel about Tarantino.
Brian's got some hate for Tarantino, but he's got his receipts though. That's why I'm just like
he's not a no talent. He's not a no talent. I'll say this.
Yeah.
He's not a no talent.
There's a point where, like, if I was going to list all of the inspirations that I've ever got from anything, I mean, you just made the ending credits twice as long, and the fans are going to know where it came from.
Yeah.
Like,
Only
this is
people
where
like
he
only
got it.
deviants like me, not regular people,
Normie fare.
not normies.
Which is why people
Normies going to think that everything that it's all original. These are the kind of people that think that the Dawn of the Dead remake is just the one and only Dawn of the Dead.
I really do like that version of it. And no, I'm only 25 minutes away from that mall. But the point, that's why people like you exist. This channel is one of those, hey, let me educate you on where all of your favorite directors were inspired from, and you didn't even know it. So unless Quentin Tarantino sits there for 2 hours and goes, I got this from this guy, I got this from this guy, I got this from this guy, and I got this from this guy, you don't have a channel.
But
kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
he makes whole cloth kind of, like, I think of his movies as collage art, right? Now you can't say that collage isn't a form of art. It is a form of art.
Yeah.
But he's chopping up
you're
other
right.
people's
I think
movies and
it's
sewing
like
them together.
I heard LL Cool J talk about sampling music from other artists as quote paying homage.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Look, I still shit all the time. I still shit all the time. I just steal shit in a way that you would never make that connection.
Well,
you know
right.
I call it stealing, but it's not. But in my opinion, it is, because I'm like,
somebody's going to have to busy with the cotton
that.
table and do one of those behind the hand things. I think I know where you got this inspiration from, and you'll be like nodding your head. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
but not like coming right out and saying, to the Hollywood Reporter, I got all my ideas from these 8 people and put them in a blender, and this movie came out.
Right.
Yeah.
So here we have Eduardo Fajardo as Major Jackson, the arch villain of Django. And Fajardo usually played the heel. I think I only ever saw him play a good guy in one movie. And you could tell that he was really fucking happy too, because he was just like, I don't have to be the heel for once. This is great. Wonderful actor. One of the classic great spaghetti Western villains. The thing about the spaghetti Western villains is they're always sadistic and bloodthirsty in the extreme. And that's one of the things that's they're the reason the spaghetti West is as fucked up as it is, because nobody is safe. They will they will kill women. They will kill children. They will kill priests. Nobody is safe. Right? Yeah. It's like a hyper violent hellscape, basically. Because in the Old West, people think there were gun battles going on all the time. No, they're very, very rare. They're very rare. And if you look at the gunfighters and the number of gunfights they had, body count, et cetera, it's very, very small. It's just that these events were, that's why something like the gunfight at the OK Corral became such a legend and was, mythologized in its own time. Because nothing like that had ever happened before. Mm-hmm. Where you had like these 2 gangs just fucking throwing down. Not at the OK Corral, but actually in an alley behind the gun. OK Corral. Oh my! That's like the one thing that they get right in Wyatt Earp that they don't get right in
Tombstone.
But otherwise, Wyatt Earp is actually slightly more historically accurate than Tombstone.
Yeah.
But it's a drag to watch.
Yeah.
Well, because there's his early life shit, and the stuff that Gene Hackman does. I appreciate all of that stuff from either not having the father figure that I wish I did to wishing I had been the father figure that I wanted to have thing. You know, if you're those little words of wisdom that Gene Hackman gives to Kevin Costner, if you're in a fight, hit first, hit hard. You know what I mean? And and dragging him out of the doldrums of that bad relation, his wife dying and all that stuff. All of the stuff that you don't know who made Wyatt Earp who he is. The 2 movies, I think they work together much better than they work apart.
They do. Because one of the things that you don't get in Tombstone is, why was it that Wyatt Earp wasn't afraid to die? right? Because that's what made him and Doc Holliday so dangerous. They gave exactly 0 fucks.
Yeah, but I mean, if I could have put Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday instead of Dennis Quaid's, I'm going to lose weight the same way that Christian Bale does for a part. Like, yeah, but not for a part where you're fully clothed.
Tombstone had more quotable lines too.
More quotable lines.
One of the biggest westerns of all time, and it was Tombstone. It's a town. It's a town. You know what I mean?
It's not just that. I mean, it was.
You know,
I can't believe I'm saying this right now, but it was one of the biggest. Those 2 movies shows you how formulaic works. Formulaic. It is that the long drawn out movie that's got a lot of content and that's great, but it still bores you to death. Not to death. It's just you really need to, like, that is for Western people. A historian is going to watch Wyatt Earp. A moviegoer is going to watch Tombstone.
Exactly. It's just fucking all potato.
I remember where I was when I watched Tombstone. I don't remember where I was when I watched Wyatt Earp.
Right.
Tombstone was in the theater. I was young as fuck when I seen that. You know, and again, like they're Ohio, like a week ago. You know, and he was like, "What's you know." And he was talking about what you guys are talking about right now. And he's like, you know, I respect Kevin Costner, but fuck those guys over there that did Wyatt Earp. And he's like, but I'll tell you one thing: what movie had the most quotable lines? You know what I mean?
It's like, not even close. It's better in every way.
It's like
Tombstone's a classic.
Quotable lines. There isn't even
top 5 westerns of all time.
There isn't even a GIF. There isn't even a GIF dedicated to Wyatt Earp.
But you know what's fucked up is that Django, like this movie, just like went up like right next to Tombstone for me. You know what I mean? So I can't wait to watch some more of these fucking movies, man. Like, this shit,
it's one of the greats.
Dude, this movie's fucking sick, bro, because it's gothic as fuck. You know, Tombstone is about the town.
I should get off of this stream right now and start watching this movie.
For me, Tombstone wasn't even about. It was about everybody. It's like Deadwood. You know, it's like the town. It's the lore. It's all about the lore. It's like fucking. You know what I mean? It's all in one movie though. It's not like Lord of the Rings or something.
I have to watch that again too, because I watched Deadwood after I had been really into The Wire and after I had been really into Justified.
Yeah, well, The Wire was brilliant. The Wire was like modern day Charles Dickens.
Yeah, but exactly.
So this is the scene where we get to see what exactly is in that closet.
Yeah, right.
I love these silhouettes, man.
So beautiful. I was expecting this to be the end of the movie, dude.
Minimal color, just
yeah. I was like, this is some Christgau shit, dude. This is some Christgau shit. This is the way you write your shit, man. Like you think something good is gonna be at the end, and just get some right in the fucking.
This is so visually subtle and exciting at the same time. The way that they're framing all this.
Wait till you see the end, brother.
Well, Corbucci was a great filmmaker. And he went on to do a bunch. Like I said, like I did my spaghetti western top 10, not by Sergio Leone. Half of those are movies by this guy. So yeah, Django has basically baited the Major Jackson into going to get his boys.
That's the Corbucci plan.
So now Major Jackson is back and he is rolling deep. Deep.
I'm rolling deep. Whoop. Oh, he just wears the sack. He's like,
yeah.
The other one, you can wear the red hood.
And he's like, I'm a bad guy and I don't care who knows it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's the thing. This is a lawless town. It's basically divided between 2 gangs. One of them is basically the Ku Klux Klan, and the other one are a group of Mexican bandits.
Yeah.
Now this is the shot right here. This panning shot where you just see how like in a dire situation he is and how deep Major Jackson is rolling.
Look at those fucking mud, man. The deep puddles, you know.
Every day they would come in with like dump trucks full of mud.
Oh, I love it. I love just how deep the like straights are, like, you know, of water going through the mud through this movie. There's certain shots too that I just want to like freeze frame and draw.
Right?
No, you have to everywhere. Think like it's for as on purpose as a director can be, he's going to be like, no, we need more dry mud here.
Yes.
And we need more wet mud here because the light's going to reflect off of it and guide the viewer.
He's painting. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, with the burning cross and everything. It's even worse. There's skulls on it.
Django's deep shit. He's
he
out
looks
on
like
that
Ragnar,
tree.
dude.
It's getting sawed. I'm
Nero,
sorry, Matt.
Nero looks like I forgot the actor's name, but the guy that plays Ragnar Lothbrok in Vikings. They look like it could be.
I can't remember him. Yeah, he was
Travis
in that
Fimmel.
Raised by Wolves thing on HBO.
Yeah, I never seen that. I'm like, damn, he looks like an actor. I'm like a modern
That's
guy.
odd, man. That is an odd. I couldn't finish it out.
Interesting thing about Nero is he looks a lot older than he is here. I think he was like 23, right? But
the actor,
he did
the
something
actor's
really,
name,
really genius, right? In all of these movies, he would put on all this makeup, right? So it would show off any lines around his eyes, and he would always do this. And the directors would be like, Franco, I don't understand. You're a good-looking guy. Why do you do this? And he said, well, as I age, as I get older, I'm going to start removing the makeup. And then people are going to be like, that Franco, he doesn't age.
Yeah. That's funny. Thinking ahead, man. That's...
Yeah, it is, right?
Still a good-looking guy. You got a little something, something, got a little something, something for these fools. Major Jackson, of course, feeling very, very self-confident. Understandably.
If I won the lottery, I'd build a ghost town and film westerns. Fuck the world.
Oh, dude. Fucking, that's Willie Nelson. Willie Nelson has a western town. Did you know that?
If I ruled the world, I would just fuck everybody and film western. Like, you know what? I'll tell you what. You're the reason why we're gonna have an EMP. Like, screw this. Let's just get back to Civil War times.
Exactly.
You're ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Nobody else is. Has a western town which he leases out for westerns that are shot there.
Really?
And there was Gordon Michel, who was an actor in the Peplum movies, right? He was like a bodybuilder, but back when bodybuilders weren't taking steroids, so like half the size of the guys.
Right? They were eating steak.
Right. And so he was in a bunch of peplums, also some spaghettis, and he built a western town in, I think, Rome, or just outside of it, and would rent it out for westerns. Although, like I said, most of these were shot in Spain, in Almeria. Now, what's he got? What's he got in the box? A little something, something for Major Jackson and his friends.
What the fuck? What?
And I wouldn't want to be you.
From the teeth.
Fuck him down.
Oh, she's getting
down. Fuck him down. Fuck him down.
Do you see it happen?
Fuck him down. Fuck him down.
Yeah, look at her face.
Straight up 187, 180,
fucking dope, dude.
Stabbing these motherfuckers.
Still metal.
Can't even talk.
Whoa! Look at him. He's like, oh.
They shooting. That machine gun.
They shoot.
By the way, I'm sorry.
They shooting. They shooting. When I worked at the movie theater, one of the first movies I ever saw there was "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker."
I'm gonna get
they
you,
shooting.
sucker.
They shooting.
Yeah. That's like I'm gonna get you, sucker. Not a good film. Black Dynamite, 100,000 times better.
Have you seen the new Western he's got coming out?
Sure. You're exactly right. But Keenan Ivory Wayne's first foray into spoofness was "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker," and then Scary Movie and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
so it was a good, what do you call it? A good test run. Not to derail.
Yes, in terms of its success, it's just what I love about Black Dynamite is you could tell it was made by filmmakers who really knew those movies.
Dude, he's got a new Western coming out.
Right.
Too. Do you know about that?
Right. Well, you know how it is. You know how it is with garage bands. You can hear the promise, even though that it's not very well produced. Same concept. Oh, I love it. Look at his face.
Jackson in the mud. Face down.
Totally, like, not an inch was missed. It's totally mud.
Bingo.
Fucking badass.
Nice.
Fucking badass.
I would really love to know the mechanics of this Gatling gun that doesn't spin.
It's a total first of all, it's a total anachronism. They did not have machine guns when this is set, because this is set just after the Civil War, right? So you didn't even have a regular the Colt Peacemaker and the Winchester hadn't even been created, right? So you had like cap and ball pistols and rifles. This is total fiction. In the Spaghetti West, any type of realism is out the window, right? Like in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, there's that big set piece in the second act of the film where they have to cross a bridge, but there's a war. The Civil War is happening at that bridge, and it's a stalemate. They're just throwing bodies at each other at that point. So that's why they blow it the fuck up, so that both the Union and the Confederacy will go, well, no reason fighting here anymore. Fuck it, and split. And they can go across the river. So realism is for pussies. What up, Ollie?
What's up, Ollie?
Ollie's here, yeah. Hail, Ollie.
Anyway,
always a good get.
It was never fought in Texas or anywhere even near Texas, right? So that's one of the things I've always found about the Spaghetti West that makes it such a compelling world, is that it's uncanny, it's otherworldly, it's not historically accurate.
Fantastic, dude.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Right. That there's almost that you could watch these as fantasies. It's one of the things that just makes them
I love the gags too, though, man. Like, just like, what are they gonna do? You know, he's got the coffin gag. You know what I mean?
Yes.
At the end, he's got a little gag with when he's in the graveyard. How is he gonna take these guys on in like 5 minutes? What the fuck's he gonna do? You know what I mean?
Right. Why did he just lure an army?
Yeah, with broken hands. You know, it's got to smash the smithereen, pulverized hands.
Oh my god. Well, that's the thing also about this film is that Django is a inscrutable character for most of the film, right? You cannot get a proper read on this guy. And so first, he's dark, menacing, a symbol of death.
Yeah.
And then he just seems like, he's more like kind of like a garden variety criminal. And then he is pathetic.
Yeah.
Right? There's a scene towards the end when he loses the money that he's pathetic.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Because he's trying to forget who he was. Right? And he thinks that if he gets the money, if he gets the gold, he can just forget who he was. And it doesn't work like that. Right? It's like people who have a hole in their soul and they think they can fill it with things. And nothing can fill that hole except love. As corny as it sounds, it's true. Yeah. But you see fools out there all the time trying to fill that hole with stuff.
God is love.
Well, yeah. I mean, for me,
right.
Very much so. And helped heal my heart. Yeah, he takes it a step. He takes the ear slicing a step further.
Yeah.
Jamming the fucking dude's ear into his fucking mouth.
Brutal.
Nasty. Now, do you understand why this movie was banned for 25 years in England?
Yeah, kind of, a little bit, maybe, sort of, kind of. Yeah, sure.
What's up, Ollie? I just got here. What's up?
Realism is for pussies, Brian.
Yeah. I love Ollie. Ollie's great.
He said hi to me, but then he's told you a thing or two.
Right. Yeah. No, he can give me shit.
So,
that's
I mean, this is your stream. Respect.
Yeah. No, on 656 are streaming. I always give them shit.
I know, man. Like the 656 are some of the most realist cats on the internet.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Also, also some of the most talented too. Jesus.
Oh
Christ.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and I should mention there is a second chance campaign for Dead Stop.
Yeah.
Terror.
Do I need that?
Yes,
no, because I got the first one.
You don't know.
It was totally weird. I think I was on a string with either you, and they showed up, or with them, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's right! Something showed up in the mail today." I had no idea what it was. Opened it up and like, "Oh my god, it's your book!" It was like one of those moments, like when you get exactly what you wanted to get from the drive-through, and they didn't short you on the fries.
Right.
Yeah, it was one of those.
They always when they're checking like. No, they always over deliver, man. Always over deliver.
Always over deliver. Always over deliver. That's because 656 are playing the long game, right? That's what you do when you're trying to really build a strong foundation for your following. Yeah, they never feel too pressed.
So I would say like they're thinking long term. When you say things like they're playing the long game,
yeah,
like
they're not here to make a book and crowdfund and bounce.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
It's a chess match.
That's it. I give up. They're fucking.
Oh no, I know what you mean. They're
border between the
12 moves ahead, right?
Yep.
States and turbulent Mexico.
This is the American trailer.
A man with a sad,
turbulent Mexico.
A man with a sad.
Django,
Will you never love again? Yeah, all he says. You see the big picture. Well, there it is. Life regretting.
I'm gonna piss off a lot of Elvis fans by wondering. Sounds
who
like
was
Elvis.
that man?
Yeah, that's an Elvis.
What was his secret?
And I forget the name of this singer, but he did the songs for a lot of the Spaghettis. This is when the Italians were still trying to convince Italians that these were American movies.
It's not important. And if I bothered you, will you accept my apology? He was pitiless in revenge, quick to decide and a master of every weapon. A man everybody would like to have seen dead.
Well, not everybody.
Are we dealing with a Mary Sue here? Because he seems like he can kill everyone with just willpower.
Yeah, you haven't seen the end.
Django.
His name is Django.
He's got that Kip
I love this part.
shadow. In fact,
I was hoping we'd show that part.
The title of a film
Look at the
you'll
eyes.
never forget.
you know what? I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think it's not just the 5 o'clock shadow, but his entire face. He's got a Kip Winger thing happening.
Chip, well, go fuck yourself.
I'm saying it's not just the 5 o'clock shadow, but if he squints in just the right,
really, bro,
if
really,
he
son?
squints in just the right way, I can tell there's a Kip Wingerness about him.
Easy come, easy go.
Easy go.
And you got
Who the
your
fuck is
tongue
Kip
tied.
Winger?
Down incognito.
Winger was a
Better
loser, like a metal stud.
Yeah, I know who he
Yeah.
was. I'm just saying, who the fuck?
Yeah.
Hey, just because
there's like a male model
two
that became like a metal
cards.
star.
Like he can't play a bass
Or don't
guitar.
wanna tell
2
me.
cartoon characters are going to make you
Django.
decide whether you like it
An
or not.
audacious man of action.
That's, dude, you know that was to me one of the funniest stories ever. Was Kip Winger's people reached out to Mike Judge and said, hey, could you like maybe not have the dorky character wearing the Winger shirt? And could you maybe like back off a little bit? And he was like, no.
Well, yeah, I mean, you like one creative endeavor cannot like get into another creative endeavor.
Capable of a tender
It
hope.
would be the same thing as what was that stand-up comedian? He was
Well,
on.
nobody expected
I don't
that
know
to
what
be
show
so
he was on, but
influential
all
in
of a
terms of
sudden-
actually making and breaking careers for bands. Guar never would have sailed to the heights that they did if it hadn't been for Beavis and Butthead, right?
Yeah, in the game.
And that's why they
Yeah, it
stopped
depends
showing
on what
music
you like.
videos, was because it got all political, right? Which is to say, you had all these people saying like, hey, before we slap down some bread, can you be like, hey, oh,
We gotta get to the Quark.
This
concert.
band rules, you know.
So
Yeah,
what you're talking about, like leaning into it, like Nickelback should have leaned into whatever that stand-up comedian was saying about that song that constantly got played.
I don't know, man. They
My
lean pretty
kids-
hard, man. They're pretty
My
big.
kids,
like
my
metal, bro.
kids' marching
With love,
band had
which could only last a
T-shirts
day,
made up that said
but a
"Still
day
better
which was
than
worth
Nickelback."
Yeah.
No snap.
I'm telling you.
Ali says Louis Bacalov. Yes, there were two guys. If you couldn't get Ennio Morricone to score your movie, you either got Louis Bacalov or Bruno Nicolai. And Rocky Roberts. Yes, you are correct, sir.
I don't think Ali shouldn't be in the chat. Ali should be the fifth.
I
guy.
can never get those fucking dudes on here.
What's the
I've been
deal,
trying to
man?
get fucking 6x6 on here forever.
It's not like there's no link available.
all
I know.
eternity.
Get your pretty Mexican puss on
Seriously,
here.
dude, you're always
Glad
welcome
I
here.
made
You
you
know
feel
that.
like a real woman. Very glad. I mean that.
You're not seeing the Kip Winger. I'm seeing
It's
a
the
little
tender
bit.
side.
I'm seeing a little bit of Kip there.
A little bit of
I'm sorry.
That's too
I'm only
funny.
saying it because I know
That's
about
fucking crazy. That shit cracked me up.
now,
Like,
now that I've said it, you can't understand.
this is one of those names you don't expect to hear when you're talking about Franco and Nero
Oh my
and
God.
Django and Spaghetti
I've just-
Westerns.
And a
I've
great
changed it
supporting
for you
cast.
forever. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jose Bordalo as the Mexican bandito character in this. Interesting thing about spaghetti westerns, there are a lot of Mexican characters, way more than you would ever see in any of the Hollywood westerns, right? And also a lot of the spaghetti westerns took place in Mexico. Interesting thing is there was only one actor, one genuine Mexican that played a Mexican in a spaghetti western. It was Gilbert Roland, I believe.
That doesn't even sound Mexican.
I know, right?
It sounds English.
Gilbert.
Roland.
Gilbert.
Ollie knows who Gilbert Roland is. Like shortly on the screen. Yeah, brutal.
The fight's badass.
Fight there. Just
Little bar
everything
fight.
in this movie is like cranked up in terms of its savagery.
Yeah, I love this movie, man. Two fucking horns way up, man.
Yeah. What was your general opinion of Django? Matt?
Yeah, man. Like I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I had seen. I had known of it, by proxy of Django Unchained. I peeped your the spaghetti western jamboree when you did it. I think you were doing it, some tidbits on that show, which is fucking awesome. Night. And I was just like, damn, I want to check this out, And I had known that there were multiple Django movies, out there and knockoff ones, but they all look fun to watch. I'd love to watch all of them, especially the older ones. And
well, that's the thing. I could tell you, and actually, you know what? The best source that you can go to, folks, if you're interested in spaghetti westerns and you want to know which ones to watch, because that's the thing that's always cool, right? Is if you're interested in a particular genre or director or whatever, you can go and find the people that have seen all of those movies, and they can tell you which ones are worth watching, right? Because I know certain shit like the back of my hand, but I don't know a ton of other shit. Right? But there's always somebody out there who does. And the place that you want to go to is the Spaghetti Western Database. They have a top 20 and an alternate top 20. And all of those movies on both of those lists, watch any of those and you can't go wrong. They're both fantastic.
I loved all the gothic undertones of this movie. There's just a lot of them. Again, like I talked about in the beginning, just how we watched how he just coming up with the coffin, and it's been used too, like in the game Red Dead Revolver. There was a character like an Undertaker. He had a coffin on his back, and just seeing the different inspirations that different movies took from this. There's a lot. There's a lot of really good framing, like at the very end of the movie, like when he's exiting the screen. There's a little bit of a walk when he's exiting the movie, just like in the beginning, in the intro, when he's entering, we're entering Django's world, which is, we don't really know. And again, his character is always arcing throughout this movie, and from my understanding, it's going to arc more in the next one. He's changing in appearance. Like when he goes on missions, you can almost have different action figures of him throughout the movie. In the movie, he's this dark fucking Batman-like character. You know what I mean? He's like this angel of death. He's the Grim Reaper. He's fucking the death of a horseman, pale horse. And then his horse is gone. He just got the horse's saddle. Did he trade the horse for the fucking Gatling gun? Like, there's all these different things going on. And
that was my big question in the beginning: is he's got a saddle?
Yeah.
For what? You know what I mean? Like
his horse obviously died. He didn't leave the saddle. He carried the saddle with him.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Like died or sold, but there's got to be something beyond that.
It's a what the fuck opening. It's a what the fuck opening, right? Where
exactly.
You're asking questions immediately. What happened to this guy's horse? Why is he dragging a fucking coffin behind him? Who is in that coffin?
Yeah.
And it turns out it's not a who but a what.
And I didn't expect this, it was verging on Mary Sue territory. And I love the direction that it didn't go that way, much like Dave was speaking of earlier. And they fucking smashed the fuck out of his hands. They get all swole up, and I'm like, he has to win the day. How is he gonna fucking do this shit? And I didn't even know how to fucking this. And I'm looking at the clock. 5 minutes left. What the fuck's he gonna do?
I know.
What I mean? And I was on the edge of my seat.
It's like there's no way he's getting out of this.
No
and
fucking
that's
way.
One of the things
I love
that's
that
also
shot too, right there.
Really great.
Shit. YouTube struck us, B.
Okay, they can go fuck themselves. All right.
Knew it was gonna happen.
I like the struggle too. I like the struggle.
You see, that's the other thing too about the spaghetti westerns and Italian movies in general. The hero can die, right? In the American movies, not so much. In the Italian movies, the hero bites it often. So that way you feel a real sense of peril.
Every time he looks up, man, I love that shot, dude. And it's the same shot when he's exiting, Love that shot too.
That's his wife's gravestone cross. Yeah.
Great framing. I was just thinking, I wonder if that's his wife's gravestone. Like, nah, it's not. I was thinking that the whole time.
Yeah.
And I never knew that, like, until you told me. Like, again, I have to watch things a bunch, dude. I take in things too much, but the obvious escapes me. That's why he came back to the town, was because he was thinking about his wife and trying to get revenge or whatnot.
And also why he was trying to forget who he is, because he can't get over her.
Yeah.
And then, but then of course, then he meets the ho ho ho, and there's the possibility that he could.
The yo-yo.
I've never heard. This is the first time I've ever heard it referred to as the ho ho.
You never heard that shit before? Ho ho. You never heard that?
I mean, dude. It's either Christmas or that dessert treat.
Oh no, you never heard of ho ho ho? No, we used to do that in school.
Like ho 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 is Christmas. A ho ho is that hostess dessert treat, and then there's a ho.
No, it's ho 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 too. Man.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. It's just,
and this scene is like agonizing to watch.
It's
like when it's like he's unscrewing the trigger guard with his teeth. And then when he's like trying to set the gun up, and then he drops it.
I love this shot right here too. I would clip this shot and make it like a thing for another loading screen. I was gonna say, dude,
that is nice.
Like, and what he does with the gun, it's so fucking obvious, but I didn't even think about it. I'm like, what the fuck's he doing? I mean, you know what I mean? But it
action.
It works.
They have to introduce fallibility for there to be stakes.
Yeah.
Like he's only human, but he is surpassing his fallibilities.
Well, Corbucci is somebody, and you see this in his films over and over and over again. He's very interested in exploring the idea of the hero.
Well, right, and then
damn, dude, they put it up and then they took it back down again.
Yeah, yeah. Are you going to Rumble as well or no?
No.
Eventually, I am.
Yeah.
Look, Rumble's reach is under Google's fucking thumb too.
Yeah. YouTube is might as well just YouTube it.
But yeah,
it's gonna be whack-a-mole, is what it's gonna be.
Yeah. I mean, it's I agree with Brian. It's just might as well just fucking just stay on YouTube. Everyone's gonna whack them all anyway. Fuck.
But this here, he's being underestimated, even though they think he.
Yes.
I love that.
Django, I think you should make a last request.
Yeah.
I love that dynamic.
That's a great shot right there.
Dude, and he did a good job. They had me believing like you're fucked, you know, and
Yes.
you know he's gonna win, but it's like, but I don't know. I really don't know.
Because it's
like,
an Italian movie too.
But still, I still don't know that. I still don't know that.
He's totally fucked that I don't know, and I can't.
I didn't know the rules. I didn't know the rules of that.
Right. And the thing about this ending is that I've watched both the Italian version of this and the English version of this. Both of them are dubbed, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the dialogue here is different. I'll explain.
Start praying if you like. I don't mind. It's a smart thing to do when you know that death is coming for you. How come you haven't got your burial suit with you?
Yeah, so Major Jackson.
YouTube again.
Begin your praying.
So Major Jackson is fucking with Django. He's just like the dude's hands have been crushed.
Yeah.
What's he gonna fucking do?
Right.
And now when he's busting shots here, what in the Italian version, he's saying in the name of the Father the Son,
the Holy Ghost.
And then Django goes, and the Holy Ghost. Here, check it out.
Yeah, that would have been better. That would have been more gothic.
Yep. Well, that's the thing.
His hands are crushed
in these movies. It's always very strong.
The metaphor. His hands are crushed / nailed to he's hiding behind a cross.
Always Catholic imagery in these films, even when they're directed by atheists.
Yeah, and he's trying to like reborn again as a new person. There's that Christ.
Yeah,
that Christ comparison, you know.
Yeah, I mean the ultimate hero, right? And they all thought, you don't have fingers, you can't pull a trigger. But I can fan the hammer. Yeah, I can fan the hammer.
So obvious, too. I didn't think he was gonna drop the pause on that shit. You know,
well,
it's so obvious.
It's a single action cult peacemaker, right?
Yeah.
And so single action means you click the hammer and you drop it, right? And you can't just it's not like a double action pistol where you can just squeeze
double
the trigger
action. You have to cock it before you fire it.
You
Single action is a cock and fire in the same.
But
in the same
fanning that you see, by the way, which is bullshit. You can't hit the side of a barn if you do that. Is when you hold the trigger down and you just do this with the hammer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, in the movies, it's
obvious though, like he would do that. Like we've seen it a million times. You know?
But even better, though,
a lot of him that he was going to do that. And I didn't think about it.
He uses that piece of bent iron as a stabilizer. So he's using the cross as a sled. You know, like when you're trying to zero in a rifle, you rest it on something.
Yep.
Right.
And I love that he uses that. I love that he uses the cross as a sled.
Yeah, I mean it's one of the great endings to a Western ever, right? This ends with a showstopper.
And it kind of reminded me a little bit of like the Man with No Name trilogy, where he's kind of like double like crossing a couple people. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. I like this one a lot. It's one of my favorites, man.
Glad you enjoyed it, man.
I want to watch it. I like the character. I want to watch the second one, the one that populated. But I don't know.
You can find the trailer for that, and I'm not sure. That might be on Tubi. I have it on DVD.
There's
Blue
one
Underground.
on Tubi. No, actually, he's got long hair and a beard, and he's got the fucking hat, and it sounds like the same melody. Like, and he's riding into like a little town, you know. And Tubi played it right after this.
Keoma.
I woke up and okay.
That's Keoma that you're thinking of.
Then that's Keoma.
The last great spaghetti western.
And we saw that too, I think, when we were scanning through when you were showing earlier in the stream. Damn, I'm to check
where the hell did
that out too.
No point looking for that shit now. But I have like the this is one of those movies that I have like in every format. Wait,
yeah, I can imagine.
Is it over here? Is it over here? Like I have this on DVD. I have it on DVD twice. I have this on bootleg VHS back when that was the only way you could get it, and I have it on Blu-ray. And what can I say? This is one of those movies like Escape from New York, like the Man with No Name trilogy, like Dawn of the Dead, like Mad Max, where it's just like whatever format, like whenever it comes out in another format, I have to get it. Blade Runner,
yep.
You know, The Thing. It's a relatively small list of about 10 movies, but it's just like
it's your White Album.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Some of those Lucio Fulci movies, of course. And speaking of Lucio Fulci, he directed quite a few spaghettis himself, including one with Franco named Massacre Time, which is brutal. Yeah, like this is the scene where he's just pathetic.
Yeah, pathetic as fuck. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That and then ultimately them just smashing his hands to smithereens. Because he had lost all the gold, and then he lost the girl, and he's losing himself, and then he loses his hands. It's like, oh fuck, man.
Yes. It's just like he sort of had nothing to begin with, and he still manages to find a way to like lose everything.
Love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, classic. Everybody
love that little bridge too. Everything.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Matt.
I mean, I love just like the way everything's just barely holding, like the bridge, the town, everything's so fucking dirty and just falling apart. You know what I mean? The everything is just perfect.
Yeah, it's what can I say? It's a wonderful movie.
Well, the entire time it's playing, you can hear that somebody's shaking dice. There's just all of that stuff is left up to chance whether this world's even going to hold together. Like you're saying, it's rickety.
Very rickety.
It's like dystopian futures
apocalyptic
that are exact. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Spaghetti West. If I had one word to describe the Spaghetti West, apocalyptic.
Yeah, we're somewhere in between what culture used to be, civilization. We're in the Wild West.
Yes.
We're at the end of one epoch. We're at the end of one epoch and beginning another one.
Well, yeah, we're in the Spaghetti West. Because, like I said, this Old West has nothing to do with the real Old West. There are some that are, based on events in history, like the Mexican Revolution, that sort of a thing. But by and large, they're like this. Historical accuracy out the window.
Hey guys, I got to get going. I got a Devil Fly coming on right now.
Yeah. I do
Thanks
too.
for having me on the launch of your, of the show, man. I can't wait to do it again in another week, and I can't wait for fucking Horror Movie Club next week. Thanks for having me on, Brian.
This is effective even for somebody that didn't watch the movie. I appreciate the invite.
You got it, man. Yeah. And Matt, tell these fools where they can find you, and also where you're going to be in a few minutes.
I'm going to be on my channel, Metal Movies and Brewskis, and we're doing the show Open the Gates. We're going to be having on Rex Christian. He's talking about his book, Devil Flyer. It's a magazine, actually. And
awesome.
It's going to be looks like a fun book. And if you guys want, you can find me on Twitter. It's at Runecutter Comic. You could get all my information there about my comics, whatnot. You need a commission or whatnot. I'm doing those sometimes. And thanks again, man. Thanks, Brian. Thanks for having me on. Pops, Dave, it's cool hanging out with you guys. Had a blast. Thank you.
Much love, Matt. Much love.
Yeah. See you guys.
Peace.
Take it easy. Have a good show.
Fucking bastard. He's man.
I love it. Yeah, this is why I always want to be like the last to leave so that I don't have to hear what you're going to say about me after I'm gone.
And the thing is, it's just like he's just really good with the interviews.
Oh yeah.
I think it's because he's just a dude. He's just authentic. And
well, I mean, but he's got that nice triangle of what's your favorite metal? What's your favorite
what's your
movie?
favorite
What do
beer?
you like to drink? I mean, it's right there. It's a tripod of awesomeness.
Yes. But yeah, and of course, I'm currently writing a comic for him called The Puritanian.
The
which,
Puritan.
The Puritanian.
The Puritanian.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's going to be sort of a take on Solomon Kane. Solomon Kane is my favorite character in any medium.
Is that right?
That's my favorite character of all time.
Did you like the way that was represented in the movies?
Well, there's only one movie actually, but
well, I mean, like movie.
I
like
love
the,
it.
Like
Is it
films and
Robert E. Howard's?
Yeah.
Solomon Kane? Not really. I didn't like the fact that they felt like they had to do an origin story. Do I love that movie to pieces? Hell yeah.
It's a sleeper, isn't it?
Well, that's because it didn't get released here in the States because the atheist chic thing was going on, right? And so they couldn't release it here because when that was the flavor, you couldn't release a movie where the hero's a fucking Puritan.
Atheist chic?
Yes.
Oh, you mean CHIC?
Yeah.
Chic, like fashionable to be atheist.
Yeah. Don't you remember that?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
well, I mean, do I remember it? We're in the middle of it.
Oh, no, that's over. That ended. Atheism Plus actually is what killed it. Yeah, I mean, it was a fad. I kept telling everybody that I knew that was into it. It's like, this is just a fad.
Dude, this actually sounds
nothing
like
wrong
a
with being
title.
an atheist. That's okay, but this whole like militant atheism, right? Where you just think like where basically it's like they took atheism and turned it into a religion.
Yeah,
right.
Turnabout and all that.
Richard Dawkins.
Yeah.
Sam Harris, those clowns who were
the
intellectual lightweights.
The intellectual charcoal gray web.
Yeah, no, I mean, what can I say? Not exactly intellectual.
I have to find that now. I have to find that and watch that because I just went through like 32 different not short stories, but like it was a compendium of Conan stuff and called The Conqueror. In audio form, and
I love.
There was a couple of Solomon Kanes in there. Anyways, I don't want to derail or anything.
No, that's okay. But anyway, like the book that I'm working on, we're going to take sort of Solomon Kane because that's the thing. I don't want to do Solomon Kane, so it's going to be sort of a character that's kind of like the inverse of him. He's going to be it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And that's the way I'm writing it. It's going to be like a Hammer horror movie on the brown acid from Woodstock.
Oh Jesus! You said brown acid.
All right.
Oh man, I didn't have brown acid. I did have some acid that was the color of a paper shopping bag once, and I did not enjoy that.
I never liked LSD. I always felt unhealthy. And it just chemically,
that's a whole other. That's a whole other. It got me through my fourth quarter of art school. I'll tell you that much. But other than that,
I much prefer mushrooms because you're not. It's not as much of a commitment, right? You're not on like a 10-hour ride.
I always remember that line from Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. I hope you're not busy for the next 8 days, man.
You just did the most acid.
Yeah, man. Yeah, kill a horse or whatever. Oh man.
Yeah, funny shit.
Yeah, definitely. We start talking about that stuff. It has to be a private stream. But what am I looking at here? Oh, that's part of the movie. All right.
Right.
I didn't see that before.
It's another great iconic shot right there. So everybody, if you haven't seen the original Django, go check it out. It is a classic. It is a masterpiece. And what can I say? It is incredibly cool and badass and fun. So go check it out.
Now, is his hat shaped like that, or is the wind just blowing it up on the side there?
I think it's shaped like that. Actually.
Okay. All right.
You saw the hat 15 times during the movie.
No. I honestly, I don't want to disrespect the stream. I was listening to much of it. I was doing something on my other monitor.
That's all good.
So this is some of this is all new. Now, I always notice your hat, Doc. Pops, Doc. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
look at the buttons all over there,
trademark.
and it's like nice and symmetrical. We got a nice. Is that a real tree pattern on there?
Yeah,
it's real tree.
It's real tree.
Yeah, it's real tree. Yeah, it's
Of
like
course.
it's
Settle
like
for
it's
anything less
like
than
a
the real thing.
it's like a fishing hat with lures to catch indie comics people.
It's for hunting, not fishing. Hunting.
You're hunting indie comics buyers. You're hunting the market.
There it is. There it is.
Whatever's prey, baby.
Yeah, boy. Now, Dave, tell these people where they can find you.
idcrisisdesign.com. Anything ID Crisis or Identity Crisis on social media, you'll find me there on Instagram and all the other competitors of X and Facebook. And look for this logo, and that's where you'll find me.
Hells yeah.
Yeah.
And Pops, tell these fools where they can find you.
Well, you find me at my new Twitter account because
Yes.
you can see down there I got locked out of the old one. So please follow my new Twitter account. I got a whole bunch of reach to make up over there. Like a whole bunch of reach to make up over there. So
Yeah, you do.
follow me
And
over
I'll
there.
add you to the group because I
want to thank our boy Matt for being the very first person to super chat the network.
fuck yeah.
Love you guys.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a stream tomorrow afternoon and kind of explain what happened, how we ended up monetized when it wasn't something we were planning on doing, you know. But good old Brian's going to take us right out of there anyways.
For damn sure. For damn sure.
Is that
He got taken down 3 times tonight. Right on, Brian. That's a great start, buddy. Great start.
Yeah, man. Hey, you know, it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna
I can
get
tell you
worse from
exactly
here.
why it
23
happened
more.
tonight. I can tell you why it happened because you left it up. You just left it, even when you were pausing it, it's like you left it up for like 10 minutes and it was just still looking at the same copyrighted image. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Except
when
that's not copyrighted.
it won't come back until the copyright image goes off the screen. You see what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right,
as
right.
long as you had that up, it was blacked out. It was like,
Right.
what can you do?
Right. Well, fuck it. You know, I'm thinking about the live, but I'm also thinking about the replay because
People on Twitter got to see it all. People on Twitter saw it all. People on Facebook saw it all. It's just YouTube being a dog, as he likes to say. YouTube being a dog.
Yeah, man.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious the amount of hoops and stuff that everybody has to jump through and are willing to jump through. And YouTube sees it happen. They can see the culture moving in the direction of X and the direction of Rumble, and they still won't do anything about it. It's like
It's about control.
They're a high school prom queen. They just tell me I'm the prettiest.
Roku's the goal. This was just the like, oh shit, we're monetized. It's
Well, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, Roku is as far as like mass appeal. Roku's got a ton of influence.
Yeah, dude.
And they make it easy. Come on board. They're it's all takers. They're the southern border right now.
They're the platform everybody should be, aspiring to be to. Like it used to be YouTube,
Right.
and it's like
I'm telling you what, man. I mean, it's honest to God, Roku is fast, it's inexpensive. When we finally get tired of the Apple TV, I'm saying it right now. When we get tired of the Apple TV upstairs, I'm getting another Roku. Because there's nothing on Apple TV that I really want to see. I love my Mac. I love my iPhone. Great. iPhone. Great. I'm putting a Roku
I can
up
watch
there.
this show right here on Roku on my TV.
Word.
Because YouTube is one of the apps that you can watch on Roku.
Right. All of it.
It's like it's all there, guys. It's all there. Why not we be there too?
For shizzle. And everybody, I also want to remind you once again to check out the Octopus Cowboy.
Yeah.
I know. I need to have that. I still have that on a tab up here. It's time for me to spend some money.
6x6. Wait, up here. Farther. There it is.
Yeah, and Homeboy is legit. I read the first issue and really genuinely thoroughly enjoyed it. It's just very well made, and it's just not getting the attention.
Yeah.
that it deserves. Every now and then there are these books, sleepers, if you want to call
Basically what it is. Yeah. They
Yeah.
need help with they need marketing help. Yeah.
Robert was one of those books.
Yeah, I have Robert.
Fantastic.
I
right?
read that. I thought it was pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And but yeah, it's like it just did not get the attention that it deserved. So everybody, and once again, holy shit, he can draw the shit out of a girl.
I'm telling you what. No, look, I need help with this though. Like if I'm gonna back it,
Yes.
I don't want to do a PDF. I want a physical copy.
Yes.
There's True Grit, book 1 main
Right.
cover, and the Shootist, and then there's variant cover 310 to Yuma, and then there's the stage code. Then there's the retail pack. So
Right. Which is
the what am I looking at? Is the High Noon? Is that the everything? Where I just like if I want every story, I'm spending that money.
Let's see. Yes, I'm sorry. Everything new.
Well, everything from beginning to end. Okay. So yeah, it's okay. This is Octopus Cowboy book 2.
Yes, but you can get book 1 too.
If it's in the High Noon package.
I believe so. Think so.
Yeah,
But
because there's Westworld book 1, but yeah, that's PDF. True Grit, book 1 main cover. Okay, that's book 1, and then the Shootist. That sounds different. Book 1, 310 to Yuma. So the what he has listed on this campaign to me is a little confusing. But
a little, but
Yeah.
worth sorting out. Like I said, he doesn't understand how to market, right?
Right.
Which is
Okay.
why it's just he's one of those
So-
folks. It's just like we need to like pull him aside and be like, "Yo, dude, you need to do this, that, the other thing," because he has talent coming out of his fucking ears.
No, without a doubt. So your answer to me, and I'm going to assume this is what it is going to be contact the seller with the question, I need book 1, book 2, and any of the supplementals, side stories, whatever, give me those books. And if that's what High Noon is, I'll do it. But
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Book 2 variant. Yeah, he doesn't have book 1 in here. All right. Anyways, that's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm just gonna have to like reach out to him. Like, this is what I want. How do I get it?
I get it?
Yeah, right. How do I get it
What's
right?
the tier? What's the tier for me?
Yeah, yeah. And if there isn't one, make one.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
trying to give you my money. Are
Make
you
it
mad enough to
easy.
take
Make
it?
it easy. I know.
Yeah, right.
I know. I hear that.
All right. No, this is a great find, though, Brian. I really appreciate you bringing it up.
Well, it's me. I'm all about helping new talent when they come through the door. I feel like I don't do enough, really. So
Well-
I need to get a little bit better about that, because I feel like people like
Usually
me
it's a
that are a
time-
little
it's
bit
a
more
time management
established,
thing for me.
that we have an obligation to the people that are coming in
Yeah.
behind us, because there were people that helped me out, and most of us out when we were newcomers.
Yeah.
So gotta keep paying that shit forward.
Right,
Anyway,
right.
everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate you. Spank that subscribe button. Spank the thumbs up. Ring a ding ding dong the bell for notifications. And oh yeah, Chris, if you're listening, much love to you, brother. And Pops, are you ready to take us out, brother, man?
I am. Don't push no buttons.
I shan't. I'm
Have you seen this, Brian? Have you seen the Slaughterville?
Yes.
Dude,
Last
this
week,
is like
right?
a hallmark moment. I love this fucking ad, dude.
In a small town, unlike any other, Lisa and her husband Ray were away from home for a long time. The stress of the world brought them back to their homestead to recharge. The entire family is reuniting once again for a time of faith, food, and fun. The whole town is invited. Come join Ray and his family for the feast of a lifetime. Welcome to the picnic. Slaughterville Book 3, The Cannibal Rednecks, is a 66-page, full-color story of love, loss, and family, set in the small town of Slaughterville. Look for it on your favorite crowdfunding platform.
The Civil War was America's bloodiest conflict. Over 500,000 died to preserve national unity. When the war ended, Confederates like Harley Brogdon headed west, shooting game for the Army and gambling. When a card game turns deadly, Harley shoots in self-defense, killing the card sharp who threw down first. Wilfred Knorr, the card sharp's wealthy father, will stop at nothing to see Harley hang. Harley flees to Cobb's Gap, an old silver mining town at the foot of the Rockies. A remarkably peaceful town, especially after dark. But the sheriff harbors a dark secret, and no one dares go into the mines anymore. Cobb's Gap is full of secrets. People speak in hushed tones of something in the mines. Something worse than their cursed sheriff. Something even the Indians fear from the deepest pits of hell. Every secret will be exposed. Bronze Star. Order your copy at bronzestarcomic.com.
Hey, yo, y'all know me, Pops Van Zandt from the Madness Comic Network. The Madness Comic Network coming to Roku. You can check out our preview channel right there, right now. Look, we're bringing all of our content to Roku. I'm excited. You should be too. A shout out to Hart Fisher at the American Horse Channel, baby. Woo! You know what's up.
The world has got you down. A smile on your brow.